Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Brahmanandam Param Sukhadam Kevalam Jnana Murtim Dvandvateetam Gagan Sadrisham Tattvamasya Lakshyam Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvaji Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatītam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Om. Adorations to the Sadguru, who is Brahman, the giver of supreme bliss, embodiment of pure consciousness, one without a second, vast as the ether, infinite, eternal, beyond the three gunas and their modifications, the supreme preceptor. The Yoga Vasistha Vairagya Prakarana, section 17. The topic is evils of Trishna, craving. Sri Rama goes on, presenting his state of mind and with questions how to relieve the mind of all its problems. But in his question, his sensitivity brings out its answer. You must realize Rama is an actor. He's performing the acting of being a disciple. So therefore, he's an ideal questioner. Doesn't leave anything behind. And he dramatizes the misery of the world more than any miserable person can do. Keep that you live, otherwise devotees of Rama get confused. Mama chitta maharanye vyamoha timirakule shunye tandavini jata virsham asha pishachika. I'm just reading one of the verses just to let you know how all is written in beautiful verses. Sri Rama asked, he's presenting his questions before Vishwamitra and Vasistha. Atma Tattva, that's the embodiment of love, Param Prem. All things are loved for the sake of the self. Atmanastu Kamaya Sarvam Priyam Bhavati. Simple sentence, but very profound. All things are dear to you for the sake of the self. In other words, in every individual, in every jiva, there is the instinct to love. And love term again is very extensive. Anything that will give you comfort, happiness, harmony, you love that thing. And so far you have not found anything, anyone whose love has brought absolute fulfillment. If that were so, you wouldn't be here. But in every embodiment, you have exerted a lot. The whole life was devoted to securing objects of love, relations of love. And you built up all your happiness and joy on the basis of your success in accumulating or acquiring those things that you love. But it has been in the realm of ignorance, just like you acquire all things you love in your dream. But one kick of your foot and you wake up. All you have acquired vanishes. Nothing really you have acquired. This point has to be understood. All your experiences, how do you get those experiences? Through your nervous system. What is behind your nervous system? Your mind. Even a little damage in your nervous system and your experiences change. Even a little change in the angle of your mind and the world changes before you. You live in a very shaky world. So therefore, without going to more details in that direction, every soul is dissatisfied, thirsty for happiness. And happiness comes by love. Atmanastu kabaya. What is the greatest love that your mind must figure out? Don't bring your fingers and point to others. There is my love, there is my love. Nothing like that. Neither can you point to yourself, because it is not based on your finger pointing. Point to Atma, the self. Also, you need to understand that life has been fashioned in such a way for every individual that these circumstances, the situations, the relations, all that you encounter in your life, they have been all fashioned so that your soul moves towards God, who is the supreme love. But that will be possible if you gain insight that what you are loving in all these objects, what you love in all these bulbs that are shining, is not the face of the bulb, not the form of the bulb, not the market from where you have gotten the bulb. It is from electricity. Simple way to understand. So, Atma, that is supreme love. Again, let me give you another illustration. All things that shine before your eyes, all things that you can perceive in the world, is possible because of the light of the sun. And so it is the light that allows things to shine and to develop their values. I'm speaking allegorical language. And another illustration. Whole day you do so many things, meet so many people, and handle so many situations. When you go to sleep, you leave your mind aside. And your most lovable ego, throw it like slippers under your bed. And you are coming closer to what you love most, in the arms of Nidra Devi. In other words, every sleep is a rehearsal, a kind of a demonstration that you do exist without body, without mind, without intellect, without ego. In that existence, you are not lonely. You are enfolded by joy. Therefore, when you wake up from deep sleep, you become charged. This points to another aspect. Positive counterpart of sleep is entering into Samadhi. But don't think Samadhi in the terms of practice. Practicing process of Samadhi means you have to be in a certain pose, body has to be steady, neck has to be up like that. But that's the disciplinary aspect of Samadhi. As the mind begins to develop deeper experience of positive feeling, positive thinking, there is an internal relaxation. And whether your body is involved in action or not, the Samadhi process doesn't stop. Shouldn't be surprising to you. Each one has facing the same. Whatever sadhana you have done, that sadhana insight is helping you. And even while you are busy with stressing situations, what you have gathered in your unconscious comes to help you like an umbrella. In other words, that aspect of mind becoming serene even in adverse situations, that's movement in meditation and samadhi in a profound way. And that's the purpose of practicing disciplinary meditation. To acquire a mind that remains calm even in difficult circumstances and radiates inspiration and joy while dealing with others. You come to that state, what to experience in deep sleep, even in waking day-to-day life. Due to your internal meditative movement, there comes an understanding within yourself that all that you experience is nothing but the self. All the illuminations and all the reflected suns, there are countless of them. They are nothing but the sun. Again, I'm putting allegorically. Similarly, an internal restfulness develops, that you are enfolded by the eternity, supreme love of God. With that constantly backing up your all mental process, you are always in sahaja samadhi. In that state, Trishna, the intense desire for gathering love from the world, countless aspects of love. फिल्मी सॉन्ग, दिल के टुकड़े हजार हुए, कुछ इधर गिरे कुछ उधर गिरे. You live your life and then suddenly find yourself so frustrated. So many wonderful things, wonderful people you met, loved in so many ways. Now don't even remember where they. कुछ इधर गिरे कुछ उधर गिरे. And we're left with vacuum. And that's not the story of one life, countless lives. And yet the mind continues to desire for that type of relations. Because the basic error, I am the body, that's the basic error. I am the ego, that's the basic error. if that error is not corrected, then all that you are attaining, they are not for you, but for your ego, which is like a monkey, entwining your neck with 2 feet, raga and dvesha, attachment and hatred, like and dislike. Led by your ego, your neck gets twisted this way, that way. End up with that way. Coming to more serious, Sri Rama asks, this Atma, that is supreme love, it gets veiled. And the innermost Chaitanya, that's the real sky. We speak of sky in 3 stages. Akash, Bhutakash, the space where you find all your practical realities. Chittakash, the space in which your thoughts move. Thoughts don't move in the physical space, otherwise you can pack them up in test tubes and send. And then Chitakash, it's pure awareness. Now that pure awareness, that's the Akash. Nilam Bhujashyamal Komalangam, when you praise God, it's like blue sky. You are referring to pure consciousness. That pure consciousness is veiled by cloud of ignorance, avidya. As a result, soul finds a world filled with darkness. Darkness that expresses itself in the form of so many shadows, so many illusory names and forms. All names and forms are illusions. It is that darkness expressing itself in all these names and forms. And human heart is trying to run after those illusions, gather them, possess them, control them, enjoy them. And while the heart tries to do that, a flock of fowls, in brief, owls, a flock of owls haunt you. They don't want you to hold on to those, whatever you are holding on to. Even things that you want to acquire, they are transient. Nevertheless, they are not easy. While trying to get them, your mind goes through a world of anger, hate, animosity, jealousy. See someone having more pleasures of the world. How did he have all that good karma, not me? I'm just joking. Understand that. So even while you are busy trying to gather worldly success, behind it, those owls are fluttering. Anger, greed, etc. The human quest of love in a world that is transient is haunted by so many obstacles. And those obstacles are anger, greed, and so forth. Just like hot rays of the sun dries up moist clay, and clay turns into something tough. In the same way, hot rays of worry and anxiety proceeding from craving, Trishna. Those hot rays have taken away from my heart rasa, sense of enjoying, delight, and tenderness of the heart. The heart has become dry, cracked. And this has left me bereft of humility and generosity. See, all that is put into little one verse. Chitta, the mind set, the basic mindset. Chitta is described as unconscious, which contains all the impressions. But the unconscious is not beyond your reach. It's constantly coming into your conscious mind. From chitta, impressions arise, vasanas arise, thought waves arise, and they translate themselves in the realm of your ego, mind, senses, and so forth. So that in that chitta, that is void of vichar. Vichar is that profound awareness of who am I? I am not the body. A clear view of reality. The whole process of clearing the view of reality is called vichar. But when you don't have vichar, but only vikar, vikar means only the negative, evils. Vichar is like sunshine. Evils are shadows of darkness. So in a vichar shunya chitta rid of, without vichar, pervaded by forces of darkness, that chitta is like a vast jungle, a vast forest. And in that forest, Asha Pishachika, the demoness called Asha, expectation. That demoness is doing Tandava Nritya, the dance of 100 hippies put together. Not a very inspiring dance, but a lot of creating commotion, agitation, filling your mind with muck. That type of dance. Rasha Pishachika is dancing. This is the picture of Yoga Vasistha. It's a different type of news is breaking. And this Asha Pishachika, while dancing, creates lots of noise. This Trishna, craving, is the cause of tears dripping from countless faces. Therefore, moving away from this, the word Ravana term came from he who makes everybody weep, Rodan. Ignorance is the source of all sufferings. And sufferings bring out hot tears. Divine love brings out cold tears, cool. that Asha Pishachika dances. And as a result, everyone, every soul in the state of ignorance encounters situations when you have suddenly become frustrated, things you have liked so much and moves away from it. And while all that goes on, one simple point you don't understand, you are also going to move away. That's why the Mahabharata, there's a question asked of Arjuna, what is the most surprising thing in this world? He says, everyone sees somebody dying, others dying, but doesn't get any impact on oneself. That the body that you have, the personality that you have will not be there in this world. It is as transient as anybody else's body. You are not any different. But good news, you are not the body. Just as sometimes whirlpools develop in the ocean, human chitta is like a whirlpool in the ocean of the world process. Krishna is described as a river that flows, comes from a mountain height and flows in the valley of the mountain with great force, making great noise. And what type of noise this chitta does? Chitta that is afflicted with craving. All the malas, gross impurities, anger, hate, greed, all these are like aquatic creatures creating a lot of noise as the river of craving flows on from the mountain of height of ignorance. It's a poetic language. Though I am desirous of leading myself to profound meditation, Samadhi, but I fail. Just as a storm snatches away a little straw and whips it somewhere far away, so this Trishna, while your mind is looking for Dharmamegha Samadhi, intent upon experiencing divine darshan, while the mind is doing that, storm comes, snatches it, throws far away. And you are surprised, you started meditating, but what are you doing? Everyone is helpless before a storm. And whatever quality I want to develop, vivek, discriminative knowledge, vairagya, dispassion, shat sampat, shamas, serenity, contentment, and all other qualities that I want to develop, hardly I allow those qualities to come to send out a little tender shoot. The Trishna cuts it. Another simile is implied in this, that suppose you are a musician and you have wonderful melodies in your mind that you want to produce through your stringed veena. But hardly you have started, that a strange rat comes, cuts those strings, affects those strings. Now instead of melody coming out of the strings, malady comes out of it. with colorful writing, making your mind entertained at the same time, allowing your mind to grasp. The sages have more profound psychological insight than modern way of teaching. Just as a dry leaf whirls in a whirlpool, a straw blown in the wind, and wintry clouds shatter in the sky, in the same way, my mind is going through a whirlpool. A bird that has been caught in a net, while in the net, the bird has all its instinct and heart focused on going to the nest, not net, nest. But it can't go. So is your mind. With some spiritual sensitivity, you realize your mind needs to rest. And you have read the scriptures where the rest is. But the mind cannot, bird cannot spread its wings. It's trapped by malas, vikshepas, impurities, distractions. So what should we do? That's what Rama is telling all this. And Yoga Vasistha will go on giving you answer. But even in this stage, it prepares your mind to have more insight. What is more important in your daily life? I'm burning in the fire of craving to such an extent that I think that even nectar will not be able to heal me. When you have ordinary burn, you know that you can be healed. But to see your own big limb burned up, now there's absolute frustration. Craving is like a she-horse that runs far and then gets back to the same place where it started running from. And whirls out around the same spot. Mind runs very fast. Everyone grows up, I will have a wonderful mind, I will do many intelligent things. And you imagine your mind has done wonderful things. You had hardly a penny, now you have millions. Big buildings, big possessions, many people, you have gone viral. But you have gone nowhere. You are staying stuck in bondage. You are not free. Craving burdens every soul, just like oxen carry big load. Souls carry big load of karma created by craving. Just as fowlers create allurements to trap birds. In the same way, Trishna is the big fowler, doing all foul deeds. And this Trishna has spread a vast network of, I'm waiting because this is kind of a shocking thing. Network of your children, your friends, your family, the world that you call near and dear ones. Now, if you are reading it, the immature mind will say, oh, therefore I must discard all that, go to somewhere, sannyasa. This is not the message. The message is all set up around you, all your relations, love God in all, in yourself, in others. Because God is the one that is shining through all. If you do that, then the trap of craving will not work. If you don't do that, then you are trapped. All that you see is, this is my person of love, this is my object of love, this is mine. And then, I will not have to describe it, frustrations after frustrations. And a tremendous shock to the mind. You love someone, even children you love, they grow up, and then say goodbye. You don't want to believe in God. You believe in God. Don't do tell me about God. So behind all that, the deep resolution to all this problem is to understand that all are souls. And you love God in each soul. So, any attitude that you develop towards anyone should be based on, firstly, turning your mind to God, inspiring people to be good. Again, inspiring people requires now different, you face different contexts. In some context, you can impart spiritual wisdom to people around you. In some cases, you keep mauna, don't say anything, but internally create good-heartedness. And thirdly, whenever opportunity comes, you do something that will promote harmony and peace. And ultimately, enjoy surrender to God. Never think that all these are your creations, even though you may have been the father or mother, but they are not your creations. Your teeth are in your mouth, but they are not your creations. Trishna, craving, is the terrible, dark demoness. She pierces the hearts of human beings, resulting in diseases, miserable circumstances, daurabhagya, misfortune after misfortune, and degrading conditions. Just as a mango tree that's entwined by thorny creepers in such a way that hardly it blossoms, that those creepers trap the blossom and choke them. Craving within you chokes the higher aspirations. Divine qualities, hardly they blossom. That craving destroys them. Craving is a disfigured old dancer, mantra. And the rasa that she creates, because every dancer creates a kind of sense of delight, and people become fascinated, how wonderful. But this craving that creates the rasa is a contrary type. In that rasa there is grief, anxiety, misery. See, in a good satsanga, There is thrill, people shed tears, body shakes, many things happen. But when you come into satsanga, the cravings, satsanga, kusanga. When you come into assembly of craving, then you see all those admirers of craving, their whole bodies are agitated. Horror has gone into everybody's head. And that's the description of the whole world. No matter how fortunate a person is, if ignorance has gripped the mind of the person and the person doesn't do anything about it, then they are all audience in the assembly of craving. Craving is like a fickle-minded monkey. It doesn't know where to put its feet. It jumps out of a tree without knowing where it has to land. And there are times when it gets things beyond its imagination, big fruit. But it gets somewhat excited. If I have gotten this big fruit, I should be getting bigger fruit. Doesn't stay in the same place. Jumps for more and more. This is a description of the practical reality that goes on with people. In life, we do many risky projects to be settled, to be happy. And when things improve and we begin to succeed, your mind is not satisfied. Craving whips up your mind as if condemning you. What has happened to you? All that you have gotten, look, I have helped you, craving tells you. I helped you all this. But now you ignore me. In other words, people are driven by craving. Nothing fulfills, because fulfillment does not come by things that you acquire and by your enjoyments of sense pleasure. No matter how much you have, how much wonderful things you may eat, wonderful places you can see, wonderful people meet, and go on talking from morning till night, they are of delicious matter. No matter how much you do, craving in you is not cured. It is kind of a disease, bhavavyadhi. And you have to put your attention to curing craving. Otherwise, all that you do is monkey business. Led by craving, one starts a good project, but hardly the project has moved towards success. Craving puts a flea into it. The project is like a kheer, nice, delicious dish. And craving comes and spoils all your food, envenoms it. Craving has immense capacity of movement. In one moment, craving has led you into nether world. In another, craving has made you go high in the sky. It lets you wander in the three lokas. Understand? While describing lokas, people get confused. When your mind is experiencing things of practical reality, food in your refrigerator, what you are cooking in the kitchen, where you are driving, the job you are taking, people you meet, all the practical reality. That's one loka called Bhur Loka. But while you are in Bhur Loka, your feelings, your affection of your heart, your expectations, they are moving in a different realm. And third level, your understanding. Your understanding level is on a very positive state. Then you may engage yourself in a very busy style of life. Take, for example, whenever in a family there is a marriage celebration goes on of a loved one, then all people, mother, father, they work so hard. But, in other words, though the physical plane is busy and sentimental plane is busy, deep within a kind of understanding that makes all negativity move away, all is positive. But when you have craving, all the three planes are giver of pain, trouble, and you don't know where to be. Of course, to understand the reality of yours is neither in the physical nor in the sentimental nor in the intellectual. The reality in you is beyond, transcendental. But as long as you are embodied being, three lokas are open for you for your evolution. When you attain liberation, you are out of lokas. Don't attain liberation, then the lokas are ready for you to give opportunity for your evolution. You don't want it, then you are loco. And with this I'm going to conclude. This loco process can stop if you have alok, light. Om Trayambakam Yamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukma Bandhanan Mrityor Mushyamamrita. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.